If you haven't watched the previous video from the Hibino story, check it out first. We saw in it the embarrassing situation that Kikyo put Hibino in, how they got to know each other, and how Kikyo suspected that Hibino was hiding something. Then the test began, and Hibino almost died during it despite his results being very poor in the physical test. His only hope was the second test, which they expected would be a cleansing of monsters as in previous years, but that did not happen. Everyone was surprised that the test was to fight a very large monster, with followers. Each individual began wearing a combat suit that gave him superhuman strength. But at Hibino, for the first time in history, the force of the Zero Punch appeared. How unlucky. Everyone laughed at him. The second test began, and Lino and Hibino were performing very well in helping the attackers, until the monster attacked them with a powerful blow that almost killed Hibino, had it not been for Kikyo to intervene and save him at the last minute after the control room was almost closed. His shield. Everyone begged them to let him complete the test. Will Hibino be able to continue? Will he pass the test? We will find out all of this and more in today's video, but before that, do not forget to visit the channel, activate the bell button, and support the video by liking. And let's get started. Hibino thinks to himself, if the shield is activated, then he will be deemed to have failed the test. He tries to get up, saying that he shouldn't embarrass himself in front of Mina, who is definitely watching him. The monster is getting too close and is about to activate the shield and knock out Hibino. Aji assures him that he will be the first to be eliminated, as he was a very cheerful person, but he will not be able to help him. Hibino tries to get up again but loses hope as the monster approaches to attack him. Suddenly, the monster delivers a blow that stuns Hibino as he discovers that it was Kokuyo, whom he did not expect, who saved him. Hibino can't believe what happened, but Kokuyo tells him that she saved him so he can continue on his way and stumble like a loser. Everyone makes sure that Kokuyo is not working for anyone and sets out to continue the battle. Kikyo impresses with her willingness to face the Kaju monster alone. Keiji, Raji, and Hiro join the battle. Each of them wants to defeat the monster himself, but of course, Kikyo kills him in a flash. Hoshino communicates with Hibino from the control room, informing him of the discovery of abnormalities in his vital elements, multiple fractures, and damage to some of his internal organs. Given his condition, it is suggested that he withdraw, but Hibino insists on staying and bets on Leno. Hibino asks them to let him complete the test, then stands tall and declares that he is not the perfect person, and that it is not logical to pursue his dreams at this age, but he has decided to change himself, because this is his last chance. He's told by those in the control room that he won't receive any help, and if things get worse, they'll have to activate the shield immediately. Hibino advises his friend Lino not to worry about him and to keep moving forward, reminding him of their agreement to move forward no matter what happens to him. Lino reaches out to Hibino and promises to help him, stressing that they must do their best. Hibino thinks about all the chivalrous situations he went through with Lino, and they smile together as they think a lot during the battle, which makes Hoshino laugh at all this chatter. Lino carries his friend Hibino on his shoulder like a little child, and they continue fighting. Because Hibino is no longer able to walk, he places him on Lino's back, who decides to use all his experience to attack. Everyone is amazed by the wonderfulness of their performance, but Hoshino bursts out laughing at them again. Hibino tells Leno to use his maximum speed and catch up with Kikyo before she evacuates without him realizing it. Leno activates his engines at breakneck speed and reaches Kikyo in no time. Kikyo is busy crushing the monsters and soldiers surrounding her, who are unable to do anything or even help her. You are able to defeat the Kaju monster and advance towards the base of the huge Kaju monster. Once she reaches him, she attacks him with a powerful blow that knocks him to the ground. The monster opens its mouth to swallow her, but she surprises him with a blow from her weapon, tearing him apart. Everyone, even those in the control room, are amazed by Kikyo's strength and her ability to defeat the main Kaju monster. Thus, the test ends. Hibino's commentator says that the little girl was able to defeat all these monsters on her own, while he was unable to do anything. Hibino and Leno collapse to the ground in exhaustion. The team begins sending drones to treat the wounded. In the control room, Mina expresses great admiration for Kikyo's performance. Hoshina confirms that he was confident that she was impressed by Kikyo's abilities, noting that he expected at least 30 people to withdraw, but that did not happen. He adds that the lack of injuries was due to the presence of Kikyo. Hoshina praises Kikyo, saying, "This is to be expected from Commander Shinomiya's daughter, and she will be a valuable addition to the Defense Corps in the future." Kikyo stares at the sky, thinking of her father, emphasizing that she did her job well. She announces that she's going to eat and thinks about making fun of Hibino for the 4th time. But suddenly, a new monster appears that was not on the list. Before she can move, she receives a powerful blow that penetrates her body. Leno and Hibino were lying on the ground from exhaustion. Leno comments on Kikyo's strength, likening her to a monster, stressing that these rumors were not just hearsay. Hibino agrees, acknowledging her strength made him regret what he did to her. He adds that she pushed him to do his best without backing down, and he is now awaiting the results of what he did. Leno staggers up, agreeing with his friend. Suddenly, he finds the monster in front of him, and Kikyo seriously injured. We know that Kikyo is still alive because she has mobilized all of her defenses in one area to protect her heart from being hit. She declares that she is still able to fight. Kikyo doesn't seem to give up easily. Her fears come true when she hears the new monster addressing the rest of the monsters, asking the big monster to take care of her and stressing the need to kill and devour her. Then the monster advances towards Kikyo. Kikyo doesn't understand what's happening. We move to the control room where everyone is shocked by what they see. The device indicates that the vital elements of trainee number 2016 have decreased sharply. Hoshina stands unable to understand what is happening, while his colleague comments on the return of dead monsters to life, wondering how this is possible. Nono measures the power of the main monster that has come back to life and is stunned when it reaches 6.4, which is very strange. Hoshina confirms that the power of monsters is increasing frighteningly and that confronting them requires a huge number of aircraft. Suddenly, Mina interrupts the conversation, demanding immediate intervention. Hoshina does not hesitate to issue orders, all shields are activated, and reconnaissance planes are sent to determine the locations. He announces an immediate evacuation of all test subjects, sets another date for the test, and orders them to take shelter in the nearest shelter. Kikyo comments on the current situation, stressing the need to act to save lives from this imminent danger. She tries to get up, noting that the muscles built into the suit prevent bleeding, and that she is still able to move and fight. As she tries to get up, she remembers her father's words, who stressed the importance of being an example for the future of the country. Kikyo gets up, gathering her strength. She then lets out a loud scream, determined to set an example, and sets out to attack the monster. But she receives a violent blow that knocks her to the ground. She tries to get up, speaking in an intermittent voice, stressing that she will not give up no matter what happens. Kikyo recalls her memories of her success in the Tokyo Middle School entrance exam and getting first place, to the amazement and admiration of her friends. "I'm first," she confidently declares, "and that means I'm class president." Then she meets her friend Haru and her father, who praises her performance and promises to buy her the bag she always wanted. Kikyo bids farewell to her friend and leaves with her father. Kikyo notices that Haruo is receiving congratulations, and the same goes for all her friends, while she stands alone. When she returns home, the servant tells her that her father will return today and that he will be proud of her success. Her father does return, and when he learns that she got first place, he belittles her achievement, stressing that it was a given and that she was obligated to get first place. His words disappoint her and make her feel that what she has achieved is insignificant. He continues his speech by saying that there is no attachment to one's success, because others may surpass it and rob it of this success. It emphasizes the necessity of striving to achieve other goals. Then he repeats that annoying phrase that upsets his daughter. "For the sake of the country's future, you must be perfect, and for the sake of your late mother as well." Kikyo listens to his words with great sadness, as it is clear that she is psychologically exhausted. We return to Kikyo, who receives successive blows from the monster, while repeating that she will not surrender and that she is capable of fighting. Her father's words echo in her mind as he orders her not to stop, not to allow anyone to compete with her, and stresses the need to be the strongest of all. Kikyo resists with all her might, declaring that she will not stop fighting as long as her armor is intact. But her enthusiasm quickly fades as even her healthy armor is shattered. Kikyo is stunned, wondering what will happen now. In the control room, the girl, Al-Hoshi, announces that the vital elements of the main monster have changed, that the combat unit that was removed has returned to work, and that its energy has increased significantly. Hoshina realizes they're in big trouble and wonders if they'll solve it. Then he asks a crucial question. Will we be able to defeat this monster in the allotted time? At this moment, Kikyo had lost hope, feeling like she had let her father down. She broke down crying, hurting that she had not become the perfect person he had hoped for. Suddenly, Hibino appears, declaring that she played her role perfectly and that she was amazing. Kikyo is surprised by his appearance and questions him why he is here. Hibino turns to the monster and thanks her for everything she did, stressing that everyone is safe after the evacuation process is completed. Suddenly, Hibino turns into a monster and tells Kikyo to leave it to him. Keiko stares at him in complete amazement. But before Hibino attacked, we learn that he was with Lino during the evacuation, and that some of the testers tried to fight the monsters, while others tried to escape. Hibino reassures them that the defense forces will arrive soon and stresses the need for them to hide. Lino asks Hibino, but suddenly he had disappeared, and he thinks to himself, "Don't tell me that you will use the monster's power. This will definitely cause our destruction." Kikyo stares at Hibino in confusion, asking, "How did you become a monster? And who are you even?" Hibino looks at her with a serious look, then approaches her and begs her to hide his secret from the defense forces and the testers because he will fail the test. At that moment, the monster is about to attack them, but Kikyo warns him. The monster fires a powerful laser beam, but Hibino manages to block it and protect Kikyo. A huge explosion occurs, and Hibino promises Kikyo that he will explain everything after he disciplines this monster. He asks her to relax and hand over the reins to him. In the control room, the girl tells Hoshina, who was on her way to confront the monster with Mina, that a new mysterious energy explosion has appeared around the main monster. She indicates that she thinks there is a new monster. Hoshina is stunned and asks her to explain exactly what she's seeing. She tells him about the presence of a cloud of strange energy, then interrupts her conversation to point out something surprising, which is the flexibility rate of the new monster that has appeared, which is believed to be Hibino. Hibino's power rating reaches 9.8, which is a record. Hoshina can't believe what he's seeing, wondering if the device malfunctioned due to the recent explosion. Because if this monster is real, it will go down in history as one of the greatest monsters on the planet. Meanwhile, Hibino grabs the main monster and delivers heavy blows to it, declaring, "This is the end of your path." Then he grabs him and flies him high, before dropping him to the ground with a devastating blow. Hibino looks at Kikyo with pride and tells her it's time to go back. The monster Hibino moves from his place, but Hibino jumps into the air in terror. Kikyo stands stunned when suddenly Hibino attacks her, but it soon becomes clear that he was attacking another monster behind her. He assures her that there is no need to worry, then returns to his human form, expressing his happiness that she is fine. Before he leaves, Hibino signals that he wants to say something and approaches her with a strange piece of advice. "You need to take better care of yourself." Suddenly, Hibino is surprised by the appearance of Lino, who shouts at him, saying, "Hibino" to Lino, and he is surprised, asking, "What are you doing here, Lino?" Lino replies that he noticed him leaving quickly without any explanation, so he assumed he would use his monstrous powers. Hibino explains that he thought he could partially transform before anyone else arrived, but was unable to undo it after seeing the monster. While they are discussing, Kikyo suddenly faints from exhaustion and injuries, so they rush to help her. At that moment, the defense forces arrive at the scene and are shocked by the extent of the massive destruction, but they do not find anyone. The monsters appear completely destroyed. Hoshina stands confused, but emphasizes that what is important is that the battle ends, regardless of how the monsters are defeated. 2 soldiers arrive after combing the entire place and inform Hoshina and Mina that there is no trace of the experimenters. Mina contacts the control room and requests a report on the situation. The control room reports that 3 testers have arrived at the 6th shelter: Hibino, Lino, and Kikyo. Hoshina is happy to hear that Kikyo is alive and announces that all the testers are under protection and receiving the necessary treatment. Hoshina then recalls the incident of the theft of a kaiju's body by an unknown team 3 months ago, on the same day as monster number 8 appeared, and wonders if there is a connection between the 2 incidents. Hoshina turns to Mina, asking for her opinion on what happened. Mina replies that Kikyo is really strong, but she doubts she can do it all on her own, especially with monsters in disguise. She stresses the need to investigate the matter quickly. Hoshina summons a soldier and assigns him to take the necessary measures to form investigation and elimination teams, while he and Mina will deal with the rest of the kaiju. Hoshina then goes to the first aid room where the injured are receiving treatment, and Lino reassures Hibino that his injuries are minor, compared to what was expected. Hibino expresses his dissatisfaction with returning to the hospital again, believing that it brings him bad luck, recalling what happened the previous time. Lino tells Hibino about Kikyo's reassuring health condition, and that she is receiving treatment by the best medical team of the defense forces. Hibino gets angry, asking why Kikyo is getting special treatment, and stating that he wants the same treatment. Lino answers him, explaining that Kikyo's injuries are much more serious than just broken bones. Hibino lies on his bed contemplating the speed of events, noting that it has been a long time since he last encountered someone who pursued his dreams, and wonders why he keeps losing to others. Lino looks at him surprised, only to be surprised by a triumphant smile on Hibino's face, who declares that he has a strong motivation that makes him forget everything. Mina was standing next to the room, listening to their conversation. Then she entered, surprising them. Her eyes meet those of Hibino, who asks her why she is there. Mina replies that she knows they were the ones who saved Kikyo when she was seriously injured, and thanks them for saving a human's life. Mina leaves the room, and Hibino tries to call her and stop her, but he changes his mind and decides to address her after joining the defense forces, asking her to watch him carefully. We move to Kobunk City in Tokyo, where we see the monster who stabbed Kiko sitting relaxing in the bathroom, following the news on his phone. He is surprised by the news that there were no casualties in the unexpected incident that occurred at the Defense Corps testing ground, in which kaiju monsters suddenly appeared. The monster goes crazy, confirming that their leader cannot be this strong. The monster makes a call to another monster, asking where it is, and announcing the end of the rest period. Here, let me present to you an interesting theory. Monsters are originally humans, but they are evil. The monster asks his handler to speed up the mission and get rid of the people on the train tracks before the first trains start moving. His addresser assures him that he is on his way and that he will arrive soon. The biggest shock comes when we see him transform into a human, wear a cleaning company uniform, and then start cursing humans. The man goes out to find workers from the cleaning company where Hibino works, waiting for him. He apologizes to them for being late, claiming that he was suffering from a stomach ache. One of the workers expresses concern for him and asks him to tell them next time before he has a bathroom crisis. They leave the place together, and one of them comments on the major incident that occurred at the Defense Corps testing site, expressing his concern for their friends Hibino and Lino. And so the video ends. If you want to know what will happen, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive the new video as soon as it is published. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to support the next video by liking. See you soon.